Yo, 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 it's the Millionaire Trader. Alex checking in, guys. In here for another video, guys. But we're doing something different here. We're going to be going down a timeline starting at 1963. We're just going to kind of start with 5 leaders that's going to be a part of this panel, which is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Whitney Young Jr., head of National Urban League, Roy Wilkins, the head of the NAACP, and Jane Foreman down in the Ranch SNCC down in Mississippi. So these guys was the intellectuals of the time. They was really pushing civil rights in the beginning of the movement. So I'm just kind of want to kind of go over, what type of men these were. So you can just listen to these guys as they speak. You can hear what comes from their mind and their mouth, and we'll see what kind of leadership we had in that time period. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this video, man. Let y'all hear these guys and hear what they had to say at that present moment, because this is prior to feminism. So we're just trying to see how do we get here today, and we're starting here in 1963. Well, let me go ahead and play the video, guys.
A professor at New York's City University. So much of this is relevant, as I said, and I'm going to post a link in the description to the film I made as a result of seeing this program.
Gentlemen, I certainly want to thank you for taking time out of a terribly busy schedule to talk with us this evening. I know that the entire country, and certainly the President of the United States and some congressmen, would like to know.
Guys, this is over 100 years ago. This is 100 years after slavery at 1963. Exactly. So you can see the growth from, the guys in the South and how educated these men got themselves through schooling and education. Also, I think they're more like second generation, maybe second or third generation after slavery. So, yeah, those are their kids. You know what I mean?
About the plans for a march on Washington. Mr. Wilkins, would you like to tell us what are the plans as of this date?
The plan is for a huge march to the Lincoln Memorial and a meeting there. On the way, what was described as a brief demonstration at the White House.
These men had a mission, man.
But we hope to have this an outpouring of expression on the part of the people who...
Are the plans as of this date?
The plan is for a huge march to the Lincoln Memorial and a meeting there. On the way, what was described as a brief demonstration at the White House. But we hope to have this an outpouring of expression on the part of the people who
they got a plan.
Wish Congress and the nation to know how they feel, how very deeply they feel about civil rights legislation. I think it's fair to say, wouldn't you say, Martin, that this is no attempt to blackjack anybody. We want to show how we feel.
Exactly. We are not going to Washington to intimidate any congressman or any senator. It will give a large number of people an opportunity to articulate their longings and aspirations for freedom, their desire to see meaningful, forthright civil rights legislation in this session of Congress. And of course, we also intend to arouse the conscience of the nation over the economic plight of the Negro 100 years after emancipation. And I think it can have a great impact. I think it will dramatize the issue. It will have educational value in that it will allow many people to see and understand the continued indignities and injustices which Negroes confront all over the nation.
All over the country, it has captured the imagination of hundreds of thousands of people. Now, we don't know how many of them will be marching to Washington, but a goodly number will. They feel keenly about this, and they want the seat of government. They want the American conscience to know how they feel.
You're aware that the president has cautioned that he would just as soon have the march postponed or not occur.
We see this as an all-inclusive demonstration of our belief in the president's program, and since it has been declared to be an orderly demonstration with a rally, at which time I hope to be one of the people who will speak in the interest of the Urban League toward preparing people for the new opportunities. At this level, we will be cooperating.
And I think it's important that the march go off because there is legislation which many people have gone to jail for the substance. That is, the lunch counter demonstrations throughout the South have to be sort of brought to some climax, and it could be done in this public accommodations bill, which is before the Congress. Then, of course, it just left the Delta and a lot of poor people over there, people who make $2.25 a day for 12 hours of work. And so some legislation has to come out of the Congress of the United States to deal with these problems.
People like Agnes Myers,
Guys, black men was getting paid $2.25. Now, granted, prices was definitely different in those times. I'm pretty sure things was, 10 cents, a nickel. But these guys work 12 hours a day, labor, hard labor, for $2.25, probably 5 to 6 days a week, pretty much every day. So you do the math on that, you know what I mean? It's what, about $14, $15 a week. You know what I mean? So these guys was really, and not only that, most of the guys in the South was migrant workers. They didn't have a lot of warehouse jobs, industrial jobs in the South. All those jobs was up north. So, there was a few construction jobs, down here in the South, but not industrial jobs as far as warehouse and manufacturing and things of that nature, distribution. That wasn't down here in the South. You know what I mean? So these guys only worked probably about 3 months out the year. 5 at the tops. So how can you support a family? How can you support a family? And you probably got a family of 5 kids. Back then they had big families, 10 kids, 8 kids. Like, it was real. It was real. But let me get back to the video.
President of the board of the NAACP and other white liberals and friends have cautioned against having a major demonstration for civil rights this summer. How do you...
Well, it's our position in the NAACP that the opponents of civil rights legislation left no doubt as soon as the president spoke. In fact,
I just want to kind of show y'all how far along black men was coming, through Jim Crow laws, through every kind of adversity situations that they encountered. And they fought through this, man. They fought through this. Allowed rights for non-white people that come here to the United States. Those rights that you have, that came on the backs of these men. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't recognize that. All the, the Latinos, the Asians, they don't get it. The Indians, they don't get it. Some Africans, some of them, they don't get it. They don't understand what's going on. They don't even know why they're able to do some of the things they're able to do. And it's because of us. It's because of our ancestors. But I'm gonna let them continue, y'all. I'm gonna let them continue.
they didn't wait for him to speak. They began announcing their opposition and what they intended to do. They were going to filibuster. They were going to hold up appropriation measures. They were scaring the country that they weren't going to get a tax cut on account of civil rights. They're doing all the boogeyman stunts.
Real good right now,
and if they're going to use Washington as their base of operations for opposition to this bill, we don't see anything wrong with using Washington as our base to indicate support for this bill. And in my estimation, this march is going to be a 100% outpouring of the disgust and distress of black Americans and white liberals over the way the Congress.
Right now, guys, majority of those organizations that's there ain't nothing but figureheads there now. They serve no real purpose no more. They're just a name. It represents a time frame. It's not current. It does nothing for the current black people of today, which is a sad thing, to be honest. But it is what it is, man. Hopefully, we can decide to, push these people to do something. You know what I mean? Shine a light on them. I'm gonna put that spotlight on them. You know what I'm saying?
Congress has handled this bill.
I think that in any such demonstration as the march, which is planned, you will expect loud outpouring of cries, of fears from many, many people who don't want it to take place, who are afraid that something might happen. But it seems to me that it reflects a lack of understanding of the nature of the times in which we are living. The fact that Negroes...
In the beginning, too, guys, you didn't hear, those guys had heavy opposition. I don't know if y'all, any of you guys seen these videos, in the South, things that, when Martin Luther King was doing his marches, man, it was wild. It was very dangerous times during those time periods. Like, they had heavy opposition. Not only they had heavy opposition with law enforcement and the people, they had opposition with the politics, the county clerks, all of them. They asking for federal government help because their local governments won't do anything for them.
All over the country are concerned and are aroused and must express their feeling. They've waited 100 years, and that's too long to wait.
But what about white friends and liberals who have worked in these organizations for many years, who now say, look, let's not go this fast. Let's not...
we don't have people like that. I'm sorry. Our telephone is ringing with white people who want to get into the march.
We don't judge our friends on the basis of the color of their skin. We judge them on the basis of the fact of whether or not they are willing to go all the way with us. If they are not willing to go all the way, then they are not friends of ours.
Now, we've said that these are interracial organizations, but you five gentlemen are Negroes.
Guys, I just want to, highlight these guys and just kind of start down this line and have you guys walk with me on this this video journey that we about to get on, man, and really pay attention and see what's really going on and really understand what the actual black male plight in this country is all about, and kind of see where we stand at today with our black woman, trying to get her to stand with us and move forward with strong families and things of that nature. But we'll get into that, later on down the line. But just let you know, guys, man, I'm finna go ahead and check on out of here, man.